Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Are you guys ready to start this thing or what? We're going to have fun, right? I mean, there's only a few of us here, but we're going to have a lot of fun and make the most of it tonight. All right. So welcome to tonight's event. I'm going to give everybody a chance to hang on and get ready here. All right. Okay, cool. So I think we're probably the only people in Indianapolis who are not on vacation right now. So that's kind of cool. We're here. Congratulate yourselves for coming out tonight. That's pretty awesome. And then it says here I'm supposed to talk about why I love attending these events. And it's really pretty simple. I like getting to meet y'all. I love to get to hear your stories. I like to get to know you better, and it's the great place to get together and just commune with my fellow business owners and just find out a little bit about you and how we can connect better, not only as business to business, but just as human beings. Just get to know each other. It's pretty awesome, right? Yeah. All right. So that's what I get out of this, and hopefully everybody else is going to get those connections as well, and hopefully walk out of here with another meeting or another connection to be able to talk with one another, go have coffee and get to know each other on a one-to-one basis, and be able to have those conversations that you're not going to be able to finish tonight. Because let's face it, as small as the room is, we're still not going to get to meet everybody tonight, and get to talk to everybody tonight, and get one-on-ones with everybody tonight, but we can make appointments to do that later. So we're going to have some speakers tonight. We're going to have some time limits. So we're going to go, is it 3, 5, and 9? 3, 6, and 9. Right. He does them in multiples of 3. I like that. I'll remember that next time. So we're going to have the first speaker 3 minutes, 6 minutes, and then 9 minutes. Our topic tonight, we're all going to talk about balance. So we're all going to bring our own definition or our own thing into that. So now it's time to introduce our host. Ryan is the guy behind the Bright Idea Show. He's the one who had the idea. And I'm going to go off script real quick just for a minute because I think Ryan has done a really hell of a job taking a couple of ideas that other people had, like TED Talks and Sparks, and he's really kind of made it his own. You know, the sculptor doesn't invent clay, but the sculptor is the one that takes it and makes it into something unique and beautiful in his own and then shares it with the world. And that's really what Ryan's done. He's pretty awesome. So everybody give it up for Ryan tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Well, everyone, good evening and welcome to tonight's Bright Ideas Show. As John said, tonight we have 3 incredible speakers about balance, and I know 2 of them are incredible, the third one is me, so you'll be the judge of that. But what separates the Bright Ideas Show from traditional networking events is that this event is intended to help us get to know each other better. Because we get lost in the elevator pitch every day. Hi, I'm Ryan. I help people who swear at their computer. Please call me. But this event is understanding what are the events and experiences that have happened in our lives. Because when we know those things, it's a lot easier to understand where we're all coming from. It accelerates the rate at which that we build trust with one another. And I'm sure all of you know that trust is absolutely necessary when choosing who to do business with. So what we're going to do now is we're going to watch a video that was prepared by Ray Mills and Mark Light and Pavithri Kilgore with a project called Life Forward. And they all met each other at INSPIREsmall.biz events, so blame us if it's not something you like. Sorry, that one landed flat. Darn it, I shouldn't write all my own jokes. So without further ado, Ray, please let's show everybody the video here.
One truth I've learned in my 58 years is painful experiences, very ugly, painful things are inevitable. I've also learned that the very best and most beautiful things that the human experience can offer usually come from the very worst that life dumps on us. See, you've got to make friends with pain. When life's crap shows up, most of us go into that why me model. And worse, we find self-destructive ways of dealing with it, which creates even more pain for ourselves and the people we love. And then the cycle continues.
Disappointment, fear and sadness. You worked so hard to make it, but now it's all been shattered. You've got no strength to get back up again. Your hopes and dreams are all just dust in the wind.
Well, I'm here to tell you that you can turn the very worst that life can shell out into the best gift you've ever received. But the question is how? So we created Life Forward, a place made to help people embrace the pain that's inevitable in life and turn the bad, the sad, and the hard into good, inspire kindness, and build a village of great people who've had major adversity or are currently in very hard times, all working together and truly supporting one another and learning from one another.
Friend, I will be there. I will be there.
This can be a powerful force. First, we're creating online content and ways to help you tell your story. But more important, we're going to host live events, gatherings, workshops, corporate events, and a lot more, all to help people turn painful life experiences into blessings. And we want you to help us build this village and be a part of it. Consume our content, subscribe to our social channels, like us, friend us, repost our content, and attend our events. Realize that the very best relationships come from people with big problems all coming together, being vulnerable together, and sharing ways to use it all to overcome the pain and inspire kindness. We want to hear the story that's inside you, that's valuable to you and can be to so many other people. Reach out to us. Let's hear the story of difficulty and pain that's inside you so we can share it, become part of our village, help us build it, help us build up others, and build up you. Embrace pain, inspire kindness, and together let's move life forward.
Embrace the pain, inspire kindness. Take the time to live the sadness. When it's not about you, then it's all about love. Embrace the pain, inspire kindness. Hey,
Wow, talk about making a difference, right? And even when Pavi3 and Mark aren't here tonight, they couldn't be here, they're still making a difference and they're still here. So that's pretty cool. It's awesome the way that they have this and we each have this power to make a difference for others as well. So that's really cool. I love that. And if you like that song, here's a really cool bit. It's coming out on August 1st on all the streaming platforms. So you can download that song and add it to your workout playlist if you want. Thanks, Ray. So our first speaker of the evening is our 3-minute speaker. We get the worst ones out of the way first and just take care of it. And then we save the best ones for last, right? And so our speaker tonight, our first speaker, is a guy that we've all seen a whole lot of, and we kind of know who it is. So I really don't need to introduce it. It says I need to introduce our 3-minute speaker, but there's really nothing more that you can say about Ryan Henry that Ryan hasn't told us himself already. So without further ado, we're going to set the timer for 3 minutes, and Ryan gets to come up here and tell us about his take on balance this month. It's awesome. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, John. So having the clock ticking away adds a whole nother element of intimidation to standing up here, just so everyone knows. Entrepreneurship doesn't exactly fit the definition of balance. Why work 40 hours a week for someone else when you can work 80 plus for yourself. Am I right? The first time I heard that, I laughed so hard that I nearly cried because it's true. Shortly after moving to Indianapolis, I started my first business. For me, it was an opportunity to make some money doing something I enjoyed, more than I could say for the real job that I had. But only then, once I started that business, did I realize that the real work had begun. I quickly learned that there was more to running a business than there was having a job. There was no clock to punch, no paid sick time or vacation days. Not having a boss meant I was the boss, and things had to get done. But I didn't care. I was willing to work every waking minute because I enjoyed the work, and most importantly, I could see the results and how happy it made my clients. But you can't work like that forever. Nobody can. About 2 years ago, my wife Carly and I decided that it was time to start a family. When we started telling friends and clients, I remember having a conversation with Tom Coffey, who's here this evening with us. He said, I have one piece of advice. And I asked him, what is that? And he answered, don't miss a thing. I thought about that statement for the rest of the day. Our conversation made me think about the kid in a play who was looking out into the audience for their parents. It was a shit just got real moment for me. I'm not going to let my child be that kid who was looking for their parents in the audience but couldn't find them. To me, this was the first time I seriously considered the need for balance in my life. The only way that I was going to achieve balance was to get organized in a hurry. This meant thinking about every task that I have to accomplish for business to keep it going and writing it all down in detail for the first time. Then I added each of those tasks to my calendar. Not only did that help me visualize where my time was spent, it helped me identify where similar tasks could be completed together. The light bulb went off. I could balance work and family. So last April, we welcomed a little girl, Riley. And watching her first year has been the best experience in my life. No school plays yet, but those days are coming. Now, here is where balance is achieved. Put time with your family in your calendar too. And one last thing, sometimes, fuck it, I'll get this done tomorrow is an appropriate response to tasks waiting for you at work. Thank you.
See, this is what happens whenever everybody doesn't show up. You let the man wild and he goes wild. Our next speaker is Christina Watson. Christina is the owner of A Touch of Zen Indy and developing a program to help wellness professionals build a winning market strategy. I really can't talk. I swear there's not alcohol in that drink. Please welcome to the stage, Christina Watson.
You really don't want me to have it, please. Please, thank you. Well, you can leave it now. Balance. It says in the dictionary, it's the state of having equilibrium in all areas. Now, everybody raise your hand. Who's managed to achieve that? Yeah. When you're a child and you're going to school, you get told, oh, you'll learn to balance your time out for school and studying and after sports and this. But there's no plan. They don't give you a plan. So then you go to college and you got, okay, well, my soap opera's on. I got to go to class. I got to study. Okay, we'll work it out, maybe. And then you become parents and you get jobs. And you've got, I've been a college student, a mom. I am now an official Nana of 7, a wife, a business owner for 20 years, and then take care of elderly parents. you can't, there is no balance. Nobody gives you the roadmap. It's like when they give you the kid at the hospital, it's like, here, it's yours. It comes with no instructions. Balance. There is no such thing. It's a figment of our imagination. The only way I can tell you how to find balance is learn to prioritize your time, because it's one thing you'll never get more of, time. You can make tons of money, but you can't buy time with it. You can make tons of money, but you can't have a relationship with your children. And if you're busy working, as we all are as entrepreneurs and small business, we're busy. Oh, I got to do this. This tax thing has to be done. You're going to turn up if you don't take the time and put boundaries and prioritize things. You're going to wake up one morning and you're not going to know the person across the table from you. Not only that, you're not going to know the kids across that come on the holidays. And when you get really old, they're going to go, well, you weren't around for me. Let's put you in the old folks' home. So how do you find balance? There isn't anything. I have yet to find the answer to that. I know for me, and I don't mean to offend anybody, I always learned and heard that before I can give to you, I've got to give to myself. So I have to know that if it means I get 2 of my devotionals sent to me on my phone through my email at 2:30 in the morning. At 2:30 in the morning, I automatically, when I hear the ding, wake up, do my 2 devotionals, do the rest of my Bible study, and then I go, okay, Lord, now show me what you want me to do today. And I put it in His hands. And then the next thing I know is before I can go out, I have to fill my cup, which is, does that mean going for a walk, enjoying nature, filling your spirit? And from there, you take your family and then the business, because you will always have things to do with the business. It's a non-ending thing. But your family, those kids are only once in their life. That grandparent only turns 80 once in your life. And without spending the time with them and with your friends and making those relationships and building that trust, you don't have a purpose. Because money will not buy you everything. It will not buy your way into heaven. It will not get you maybe it might get you a better husband or wife. Let me think about that one. Yeah, it might. Or at least it looks like it does on the outside. You just don't know you're getting worse troubles. You might as well stick with the one God gave you to begin with, maybe. But, our families used to make it look so easy. I got it from my son when my second grandson was born, and my son decided to be a stay-at-home dad. And he called me 2 weeks into having the baby at home. He goes, Mom, and I could tell he was ready to break. He goes, how did you do it? How did I do what? He goes, you got the house, you did the laundry, you did da-da-da-da-da, and you made it look so effortless. I go, you just do it. He goes, I can't do it. I went home, and got food for him. I took it to him. I fed him melatonins, and I said, go to bed. When he got up, laundry was done, put away. They had 3 days worth of meals put together. Baby was happy and was sleeping. And he goes, so how do you do it? And I said, I can't tell you. You just got to do it. And that's kind of with balance. You just got to do it. There is no proven right way to do it. It's like life. There's no manual. So you try and you do your best. You spend the time with the people that mean the most, and the rest of it will take care of itself. And the other part of it is, if it doesn't, like he said, some days it's okay to say that. And if not that, then you go, you know what? Let go, let God, and the rest is all yesterday's news. Because that's why they call today the present. You can't change what just happened. You cannot predict what's going to happen. This time, this minute that is existing is a present to you and the person that you're with and your family. And that's my deal on balance.
Well, shoot, there we go. Now it's working. All right, so now it is time for John Cannon's My Car Doc Car Care Tips. So please give a big hand. Now, what did you do over there? Well, I'm going to go figure that out. All of you are going to give John a big hand as he comes on up here.
Not the tech guy. So you planned it for weeks. It was all you could talk about. You were so excited when you left this morning. This is going to be epic, and you're going to remember this for the rest of your life. You can choose to remember this as the best trip you've ever been on or the most colossal disappointment. And it all depends on you. You see, you might not have realized it, but whenever your trip started the moment that you decided to go out of town. We all know you're supposed to air up the tires, check the fluids, pack snacks, grab some tunes, and grab a cup of coffee before you hit the road, right? We all know that. Sure, you check the GPS, but did you bother to check what's between here and there? You might be flying right past some cool attraction that you don't even know about because you're so focused on the destination and where you're going. On a trip back from Florida once, we found 2 really fun places to visit, one in Macon, Georgia, and one in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Some really cool attractions that we didn't even know about. And that ended up being real highlights of the trip that our kids still talk about sometimes to this day. They weren't even planned. Then you took the time off from work. You figured out where you were going to go, but did you plan to bring the vehicle into the shop? You wouldn't wait until you got to the airport to buy your airplane tickets, right? So why would you wait until the day before you leave to make sure the car is okay? You're not really giving your mechanic enough time to fix anything if they do find a problem. So make sure you make your reservation at your local shop at least 2 weeks early so that they have plenty of time to fix something if they do find something wrong with the car. So real quick story, I once had a family drop off their car at 1 p.m. for a checkup. We found an axle that was about to break. I'm talking this was bad. It was so bad I wouldn't have taken this car to Kokomo, much less out of state. So unfortunately, the part did not exist inside Indianapolis for this vehicle. It had to be ordered from the warehouse. So I called them to let them know, and the dad answered the phone, and understandably, he was very upset. When I asked him, when are you leaving on your trip? He said, about 4:30. I said, wait. Today? No, sir, you're not. Nothing like trying to find a rental car at 2 p.m. on a Friday on a holiday weekend. Good luck with that. Do you have cool entertainment for your ride? Discuss with your travel buddies what you want to listen to or do to keep the ride interesting. My wife and I like to use our phone sync with the van to be able to listen to stand-up comedy when we travel. There's also a really cool app called Audio, spelled with a T, that uses your phone's GPS that will tell you interesting stories about the places as you travel through them, which is really cool. You can also obviously catch up on audiobooks or listen to music. The ending of your trip can be just as important. One time, my family and I decided not to do that one last thing that would have taken an entire day on our trip and added that extra in. And we would come in on Sunday night at the very last second. And we decided to just skip that and come home on Saturday night instead of pushing the vacation all the way to Sunday like we'd originally planned. And we came home, dropped the luggage off in the living room, showered, slept on our own beds, and dealt with the laundry the next day after catching up with some much needed rest. I went back to work Monday without that, I need a vacation from my vacation feeling. And we swore we'd always plan a recovery day into our long trips from now on. And it makes a huge difference, it really does. A $5 special on Amazon. The secret to a successful road trip is all about finding that perfect balance between planning ahead, spontaneity, and having fun. We've got top 10 tips for a great road trip that if you want to catch up with me after the event this evening, I'll be happy to send those to you too. Thanks a lot.
All right, so now it is time to randomly pick a guest out of our audience and interview them right here on the video. So John, since you're still standing there, I'm going to try in one hand move this box.
Your odds are pretty good tonight, folks.
Yeah? All right. So, yeah. Did you put your orange tickets in there? You got a ticket, right? Everyone has a ticket? So, yeah. When you came in this evening, you should have been issued an orange ticket. And so John's going to pick our winner, and you're not going to look.
Winner, chicken dinner. All right. I promise it's not me.
All right, so here, I'll trade you one ticket for a box of tickets. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
All right, get them ready. The number is 563-507. All right, Ken, give him a hand. Come on up. All right, let's give him a microphone here. Thank you, sir. All right, here, I'm going to give you this one since I know it's on.
Okay.
Okay, there we are. So Ken, you and I have met before quite a few times, but we're going to pretend like we don't know each other for this interview, because what we're going to do is post this video out on YouTube later on so that folks can learn about you and what it is you do. So Ken, please tell us what it is that you do professionally.
Well, actually, no, I was going to say I retired, but I did. But what I do now is my wife and I, we own our own personal travel business, and we are labeled as betterthandonuts.com.
Awesome. And so let's talk a little bit about, John just talked a little bit about going on a road trip out of town. And I know you and Cynthia have some really good tips on what people need to know before they consider going on a vacation or a trip. So would you mind sharing a couple of those things that people may not think about, but they really should be?
Well, let's start out with probably one of the main things is you got to plan ahead. And when you plan ahead, if you're like most people, well, even if you're not, if you're like me, you want to save as much money as possible, okay?
Who doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, you got to know how to save that money. And so it's really important that you talk to and connect with people that actually understand what first of all, that you're interested in doing, and then they understand you're working with a budget, because everybody has a budget. It's important to have that. Mm-hmm. And so, once again, people are going to be able to then sort of help you tailor things to your budget.
Nice.
Okay? And when you think about members and think about memories, if you have family, because when we're going out of town, we're always excited about memories that we're going to create with our family, okay? So we want to make sure, first of all, you got children, you want to be able to get them involved so that they can look forward, they can be excited about it, and they're going to look back on this years later and still remember all the great fun and all the things you did together.
Nice. And so, Ken, what sparked your passion to get in the business of helping people plan their travel?
Well, originally, first of all, when we looked at the travel business, I thought, well, I can go home and I can talk to my wife about this, and she's not going to get upset with me because she's going to get a vacation.
All right.
I mean, that's going to be the worst thing that happens, okay? And so I thought, well, okay, that's good. And then the other thing is, as you start to look around and you think about all your friends, mm-hmm. everybody gets excited about vacations, where they're going to go, the things they're going to do, and they want to come back and they want to share all of that with you. And I thought, that's really important. But, it's also important for people to be able to do the things they want to do, to be able to save money. And then I actually discovered there's a whole lot of money that's made just because people are going to travel. And most of us, we get caught up thinking, well, I don't know if people really want to travel. Especially we went through COVID, and people aren't going to travel now because we've gone through COVID. You know what we discovered about after COVID? People were so tired of being pinned up in the house, they couldn't wait to get out.
It was time to get that vacation on the calendar.
Time to get that vacation on the calendar.
So Ken, share with us a little bit about the favorite trip of yours that you have taken.
Well, we took a trip. We went to Mexico, and the interesting thing about that is, I'm down there, and it's number one because it was the wintertime and it was nice and warm. Okay, but I'm thinking as we go around and we look at all the things, because people talk about Mexico, this is bad and that's bad, but we were at resorts, and the resorts we were at, they had a lot of food, entertainment, a lot of fun. But the other thing that you noticed is people were excited about seeing you, because a lot of people don't think about this. At different countries, even because of COVID, people didn't show up. And that's where a lot of people actually make their livelihood from people that visit those countries. Mm-hmm. So, travel is really important. And so we have to understand that as we travel, and some people will say, well, I don't really want to go to this place or that place because they have problems. But, something I discovered a long time ago, we have problems every day. We have problems in every city that we live in. But there's good places and there's bad places. So it's important to know where to go. Once again, when you're planning, you plan with somebody that's going to actually help get you directed in the right place, so you don't end up in the wrong places.
Nice. And so you have a trip coming up that folks can get on and book their travel with you. Would you like to share a little bit about the trip you have coming up?
Well, I think right now, what you're talking about is probably a bus trip that we're going to do. Well, the thing about this bus trip that we're going to do, we're going to be going to Mackinac Island.
Oh, nice.
And that's a place that, a lot of people are really excited about going. And as people get to be older, I actually found out I'm a senior citizen. But one thing I found out in becoming a senior citizen, you don't really like to do a lot of driving.
That's true. Yeah.
And I figured out, we can do these bus trips. People don't have to get up and do a lot of driving, but they can get on the bus and they get a chance to sit back and relax. They get a chance to meet new friends. We always think about seniors, and eventually I figured this out years ago when I was really young. If you live long enough, you get a chance to be a senior. Okay? So, and being a senior, you want to have something you can look forward to. People are always saying, well, when I can retire, I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to take it easy. Okay? But the important thing is, when you get to the point where you can retire, people that sit back and take it easy don't get a chance to stay around long.
Very true.
Okay? So we want to make sure everybody's out, active, staying busy, and people get to stay a whole lot longer, because when you travel, it relieves a lot of tension. A lot of, because we all get stressed as we go through life. But people that travel more, they form that relationship, with their spouses. They form relationship with their children. They meet new people. Their outlook on life changes, and they value those things. You're going to always value your children. You're always going to value the people that you meet. And so when we do those trips and we give everybody an opportunity to sign up and get on the bus. Now, we have to tell people sometimes, you got to sign up early, because we got to make sure we arrange everything, because you're not going to just get on the bus and travel and then not eat. So we want to make sure that meals are prepared. We want to make sure that people will have rooms, all those things will be taken care of. They'll already be in place, so you don't have to worry about what's going to happen and what's going to be there. All you got to do is look forward to traveling with Ken and Cynthia Reed, because my wife, you're always going to have a great time when she's around.
Awesome. And how can someone get a hold of you if they're watching this and they know it's time to take a vacation?
Well, this is like really easy. I don't know. If you look on the back of my shirt, you'd probably see this. It says,
Oh, yeah.
betterthandonuts.com. Hey, contact us at betterthandonuts.com. And we'll make sure that you can get on the bus with us.
All right. Ken Reed, thank you very much for being our guest this evening. Everyone, give him a big hand. Thank you, Ken. Here, I'll take the mic. Oh, yep. There we go. Awesome. Before we get to our 9-minute speaker this evening, I want to make sure to recognize our leaders. Here with us tonight, Ray Mills, RM Media, John Cannon, my car doc. Give them a big hand. A couple of our leaders who couldn't make it with us this evening, Pavithri Kilgore with KPSK Consulting. She sends her regrets. Her husband Spencer had a medical event, and so she wasn't able to be with us this evening. Cindy Gardner with Hightower Graphics. Give both of them a hand, since I know they'll be watching this later on. A couple of other sponsors I want to make sure that we thank here: RM Media, My Car Doc, The Tax Advantage, Image Inc., Golden Heart Senior Care. So now it is time to introduce our 9-minute speaker this evening. Could I have the slide, please? The slide. There we go. Proof that I can say it good, but I have to be able to read it first. Are you looking for a fun and unique way to uncover your purpose and potential and understand how to overcome obstacles in your life? Or did we all fall asleep? Yeah, come on, yes? All right. Karmen is the awakened soul behind Heart's Joy. As a disruptor of traditional norms, Karmen empowers you to embrace your spiritual power. I've lost my place here. There we go. Your spiritual power and live a purposeful life. With her passion for awakening consciousness, she guides others to think, live, and create in alignment with their divine purpose and power. Fun fact, Karmen played 4 games on Family Feud. Now, was that Dawson, Combs, Louis Anderson, or Steve Harvey? This is Steve Harvey, current host, right? Awesome. So everyone, please give a big hand to our 9-minute speaker tonight, Karmen Fink.
Thank you. Yeah, let's liven this up. I am an interactive person, so everybody get up. Everybody get up. Let's stretch. Yeah, I know, right? I heard a yawn over here. Let's stretch it out. Stretch it out. All right, so now stand up straight, and I want you to stand and balance on your left leg. Everybody doing okay over there? Now let's do that again on your right leg. All right, thank you. You can sit down. So how easy was it to achieve balance just then? Somebody, was that hard? You found it easy? You almost fell over? Hard? Left side hard, right side easy. Interesting. Okay, anybody else? Notice anything else? Were you frustrated with yourself, maybe? No? Felt good? Awesome. Did you show yourself grace if you couldn't easily find your balance? Sometimes we get frustrated with ourselves. So the conversation about balance, it typically comes up when we talk about our day. Do you find yourself asking for more time in your day or your week? Show of hands, who else packs their schedule? I know everybody does. Show of hands, who packs their schedule? Are you finding yourself saying, if I just had another hour, if I just had another day, right? The Sunday scaries, we all have heard that before. So I used to do this all the time. And part of the reason why I packed my schedule is I worked full time. I had a part-time hustle. I volunteered at church, other local organizations. I spent time with family and friends, and I did not have any time for anyone else or anything else, and I wasn't doing anything 100%. And I definitely was not taking care of myself. Show of hands, or amen, or yes. Yes, that's typically what I hear. And I literally hit rock bottom. And I finally said, I'm not going to do this anymore. But I didn't know what to do. And during this time, it was a few years ago, I was along my healing journey. And I had uncovered a lot about myself, who I was, what my triggers were. And I started to ask myself, why do I do this? Why am I packing my schedule so full that I don't even have time for myself? And I'm not really accomplishing my goals, but I'm helping everyone else. Why wasn't I setting myself up for a win-win? Which, by the way, we're not taught a win-win in society. We're taught a win-lose. And at that time, fun fact, I was actually getting invited to at least 3 to 5 events a day. I want you to think about that. 3 to 5 events a day, and they normally happened in the evening. So now you got to choose, which event am I going to go to? You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, or at least I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So I started to ask these questions before I would respond to an event. The first question is me going to this event going to make me money? Is this going to help my business grow? Is this helping me along my spiritual journey? Or will it bring me joy? And as I would answer those, if any of those were a no, I did not go. And it lifted a weight off my shoulders about where I was spending my time. We're constantly being bombarded now. I feel like it's getting worse every year with incoming information, meetings, text messages from people. They want an immediate response, especially if you have an Apple Watch. Everybody knows that they can get a hold of you right now, which, by the way, the notifications for my emails, they've been turned off for years. I've actually got 4 different emails. I'm intentional about checking them, but I do not get any notifications at all. They're there, let them wait. So ask yourself, what is stopping you from slowing down? Really think about that. What is stopping you from choosing to slow down, because it's a choice, to actually create space, because you are that powerful, and truly listen to yourself, which, by the way, can feel really uncomfortable, especially if you're always used to being on the go. So when you first start to do it, your nervous system is kind of like, oh my gosh, what are we doing and why are we doing this? Okay, and so just keep that in mind. And it's especially going to feel uncomfortable if you've not done any healing work, if you've not started to heal your inner child, any wounds or traumas that you experienced as a kid. I do not have this memorized. Thank you. Awesome. I don't remember. Nope. No clue. My purpose is to disrupt the church industry. Yes, I heard that. It was about harmony. That's what it was. Got it. How would you feel if I told you, and you mentioned it earlier, balance doesn't exist? Because when I tell that to people, it lets them off the hook, right? It's kind of like that pie chart. I've got to spend this much time with family, this much time eating and sleeping, and I have to exercise, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. And you don't have to do anything. It's all a choice, and it's a privilege. Now, how does that feel? Yes. Yeah. And really, when you say the word balance, how does that feel? Say that again? Yeah. So what if you were to use the word harmony instead? Everybody say the word harmony. How does that feel? I feel lighter when I say that word, harmony. Right? Because harmony is the ebb and flow throughout your days. And as you find your harmony, because things are going to come up, you are going to say yes to an event that you didn't plan on your calendar, and you're going to have a great time, and you're going to say, well, but I didn't get that stuff done. That's okay. I like his answer earlier. F it, right? It'll be there tomorrow. So when you start to find your alignment and you're in the ebb and flow, you're working with the energies, you will find alignment. And that is the focus, being in the present moment and truly finding your alignment. Because I promise you, that is going to feel the best, and you truly will be able to live your purpose every single day. And what I tell people is harmony is the true flow of life. Thank you.
Awesome. Give Karmen and Christina a big hand for their presentations tonight. Didn't they do a great job? So everyone, those are our speakers this evening. I would like to invite you to join us again here next month on August 21st. Our theme is trust. And Marty back there, who I know I've heard a few times throughout the program tonight, he is going to be one of our speakers. So join us again next month, August 21st in this room. A few other events that I want to make sure to share with you before we wrap up tonight. On Thursday, August 25th, so 1 week from tomorrow, we are kicking off a brand new event in the Lawrence area called Connections and Conversation. This event is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., hosted at the Total CBD Indy shop at Pendleton Pike and Sunnyside Road. It is done as an open house, so come as early as you can, stay as long as it's fun. Bring plenty of business cards because there's going to be new people for you to meet. And then looking into August, because geez, it's already coming up on August, we have our next Keystone Business Connections meeting just around the corner from here at the Old National Bank on 96th Street. Then on Friday, August 2nd, we have the Bright Ideas Lunch at Giacomo Pizza at 56th and Post, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're going to preview one of the recorded speakers that we had tonight, and then we're going to talk about it because networking is about talking to each other. And finally, the last event that I'm going to share, Friday, August 9th, is the next business spotlight at Buca di Beppo by the Castleton Mall, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Show up for that event, and we're going to hand you the microphone for 45 seconds. And for that 45 seconds, you have the entire room's attention, and you can tell them whatever it is you want to share about your business. Is there something coming up soon that people need to know about? Is there a special? And oh, by the way, since it's the end of July, start thinking about your small business Saturday sales now. I'm serious. We need to plan those things and get them out there because it takes a long time to execute a good marketing strategy. So just a tip for everyone here in the room tonight, start thinking about what that sale is going to be because it will be November before you know it. So everyone, thank you very much for being a part of this evening's program. I encourage you, get with someone you haven't met before and set a follow-up appointment because networking events are not successful unless we're following up with people. So have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you at the next event.